for Roseburg basketball on 541radio.com.
Ball poked away by Lake. He gets it out in front for Colin Warmouth in the dunk.
Welcome to this broadcast of Roseburg Sports, presented by CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score. Now, let's get ready for the game. Here's your pregame show host, Joey Kiran.
Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to Stuart W. Robertson Memorial Gymnasium, the site for tonight's matchup between the Roseburg Indians and the visiting Sheldon Irish. It's the beginning of Southwest Conference play tonight, and Roseburg looking to start things out on the right foot as they welcome in Sheldon. Hopefully you're having a wonderful Friday night, getting things off and rolling here this evening. A blustery one outside, but it's nice and toasty here in the Roseburg gym. Getting ready for tip-off as the JV game goes final. The Sheldon JV is going to pull off a 55-46 win over the Roseburg JV. So we start out the night, unfortunately, with the Roseburg team on the wrong side, but we'll get ready to go for the varsity matchup coming up here tonight. Roseburg comes in 10-4 on the season under head coach Mike Parton in his fifth year back with the program. The Sheldon Irish come in 7-8 on the year under head coach Daniel Clark, but it seems like they're starting to get to full strength at the right time as conference play begins here tonight. As we welcome you in, we want to remind everybody tonight's game streaming online at 541radio.com, where you can watch tonight's game live for free. You can check out previous games on from Roseburg High and from around the schedule. They're online at YouTube. You can head on there to the 1490 The Score YouTube channel and catch the games either live or some of the archive matchups as well. A lot of easy ways to keep up with tonight's action here from Roseburg High School. As we get ready for tonight's matchup, we got plenty in store for you here during tonight's pregame show. Coming up, we'll get a chance to catch up with head coach Mike Parton as we talk some Roseburg basketball with the skipper. Find out what he thought about the last game for Roseburg back on Tuesday against North Medford, a non-conference game against the Black Tornado, in which Roseburg came out with a 68-43 loss, one of their worst of the season. As for the Sheldon Irish, they're coming in off of a 65-62 win on top of the Grants Pass Cavemen back on Tuesday, another non-conference game against a conference opponent. For the Sheldon boys, they were one of the favorites to win the Southwest Conference title this year in a vote of the coaches before the conference season got started. We'll see if they are able to hold true to that form coming into tonight's matchup. A lot on the line for both of these teams, looking to get off on the right foot to start out conference play. But for the Roseburg boys, tonight could be a very important moment. For Roseburg, their team does not look like it did when the season started. They've had injuries and suspensions that have depleted the depth on the bench for head coach Mike Parton, and tonight they are continuing to work on just getting the rhythm down with this new roster. Guys are being asked to do different roles. The adjustments in the mid-game are having to be done differently because of the roster that Coach Parton has. So there's a lot of things that this team is trying to learn mid-season, much like you would do in the preseason. So it's a tough one for head coach Mike Parton here midway through this 2018-19 season, but he is looking to get the team out on the right foot as they begin conference play here tonight. We'll talk with him about that as we get ready for tonight's tip-off, so stay with us for our pregame coaches interview coming up next here on the program. We make our way towards tip-off, plenty more to come, so stay with us throughout tonight's broadcast. Roseburg basketball on 1490 The Score is brought to you by Mahalo Heating and Cooling, your best choice for the finest indoor comfort control. Call them today at 672-6707. Back with a word with head coach Mike Parton after this 60-second break on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Back here with more of our pregame on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score and streaming with video online at 541radio.com. It's time now here in the pregame show to get a chance to catch up with head coach Mike Parton as the Roseburg boys get ready to begin Southwest Conference play tonight against the Sheldon Irish. And Coach, appreciate your time here as you guys get ready to start Southwest Conference play. You've had a couple of games against conference opponents in the last 2, but don't go towards the league record. Nonetheless, you've kind of felt like league play has gotten underway already. The last one, a tough one to walk away from there at North Medford. Felt like neither team necessarily played great in the first half, but it was nice to see those guys battle back after kind of falling behind a little bit in the first quarter to tie the game at halftime. But what was the difference there in the second half for you guys as North Medford pulled away and kind of makes it a lopsided loss?
Well, I think we turned it over too much, and that accumulates into a negative situation for us. And North Medford, their speed and quickness is very, very good, and so they're the type of team, man. They get up on you. It's hard to come back, and they did that. We turned the ball over too much. We weren't patient. And we're gonna have to be a little bit more patient in our offense so we don't turn it over. And so I think too many times we're trying to force stuff instead of just relaxing, get the ball moving, get ourselves moving, and get open shots for each other. And so we got to do a better job of that. We got to do a better job of being able to change defenses. There's just a lot of things that we're going to have to improve on with the guys that we have.
I was going to say, obviously, the turnovers were definitely obvious there in the third quarter to start. That's what really put North Medford kind of on a trajectory to start pulling away in that one. But did it feel like it was an adjustment they made at halftime with their defense that really threw you guys off, or was it more something that kind of self-inflicted there? It kind of seems like you maybe felt like the guys not being patient enough might have been it was more self-inflicted than necessarily exactly what they were doing on the other side.
Well, I think it's both.
Yeah.
I thought North Medford came out and did a nice job. They got some really easy shots. We didn't defend it real well, and then they knocked a couple balls around and then got going. And that's where they're dangerous. I think they're really dangerous when they start to go on runs, and they did a great job of that and took advantage of us. And again, this is not the same team, so our adjustments are different. We have to play differently, and we got to get buy-in in that. And if we do that, then we're going to make some improvements. But we're still working on that. And, I was encouraged with some good practices, but we still have a long ways to go.
It's not necessarily something you want to see, but you've had a couple. For some reason, all come down in Medford. But that last game, we saw guys get a little fired up and picked up a couple of tees in there. It's been something that's happened in a couple of games so far now, and you guys have kind of put a couple of those. It doesn't seem like something that I've seen too often from your teams here in the last couple of years. Has that been something you guys have addressed at all? Just making sure that these guys have, just tried to maybe mind their P's and Q's out there a little bit better?
Well, I think the big thing is this is education, right?
Yeah.
That's what you're trying to do, and kids don't always make the best choices. I thought we were through that, and obviously we weren't. So we got to do a better job of not getting frustrated and worry more about execution than frustration. And so I think those are learning experiences. And yeah, we've dealt with it, and hopefully they're going to get the idea after a while.
Yeah, and everything's a learning moment and a teachable moment for these guys. So hopefully pick those up as they continue on here this season. Well, tonight you guys take on Sheldon to begin Southwest Conference play. The conference looks like it's been really wide open, but Sheldon's definitely one of those teams that has the chance and has the talent and the size and everything to do really good in conference play this year. As you guys get ready to take on the Irish, what do you think about what they've done so far? I know some of the football guys joined a little bit late, but this is a roster up and down that's got height and size and athleticism and can make it very difficult for you guys tonight.
Well, I think they're, with South Eugene and them, they have terrific size. They have speed. They've had 10 guys score in double figures, different guys on the season. Obviously, they have a Division I athlete in Patrick Herbert, tremendous athlete and player. And Dominic McGarvey's been gone for about 5 games for him. So he's back. He just came back last game. I don't know if he was injured or what went on, but he's been gone for him. So I think they're very dangerous as the season goes on. And I think they cause a lot of problems because of their size and speed.
As you guys get ready for it, what are kind of some of the keys to the game for you? Is there something you guys feel you might be able to attack against them and be able to exploit to maybe get a victory here at home to start conference?
Got to take care of the ball. Got to take care of the ball. Got to be more patient. And then we got to rebound against a lot bigger team. And so I think those things are going to be key for us. We have to keep our turnovers down into that 12 or 13 range and then make sure that we know who we have. And be able to make the adjustments defensively as well. So yeah, we're gonna have a work cut out for us here at home to start with, but that's how you get better and that's how you improve. So we're very looking at the task and trying to learn from it, but at the same time win a game here.
All right, look forward to it tonight as Roseburg takes on Sheldon to begin conference play. We'll have tip-off coming up for you when we return. Say thanks to head coach Mike Parton for his time in the pregame show. Back with more after this on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Back here at Roseburg High School, getting ready to go for tonight's matchup between Roseburg and Sheldon. I want to say thanks again to head coach Mike Parton, first time here in the pregame show as the Roseburg boys gear up for the start of Southwest Conference play. It was a great start to the season as the Roseburg Indians jump out to a 5-0 start through the start of the year. First start, 5-0 start, best start to the season through 5 games since the 04-05 season. Roseburg tripped up a couple of times, but they do start conference play with a pretty strong record. But you might remember last year, this Roseburg team had just 3 losses on their record when they got ready to begin Southwest Conference play 1 year ago. And once they got into conference play, Roseburg finished with just 2 more wins on the season. They went 11-13 overall last year. Roseburg just 1 win away from matching that win total from last year. They'd like to add a lot more to it than just 1 more win as they begin conference play. But you could hear from head coach Mike Parton there, it's going to be a challenge for Roseburg with the adjustments they have to make here now that the conference slate begins and their roster is not as deep as it once was. So Roseburg gets ready to take on Sheldon. They're coming off of their worst loss of the season, a 68-43 loss against North Medford on Tuesday down in Medford. It was a tight first half. Roseburg was down by 6 at the end of the first quarter, but rallied back, tied the game at 24-all going into halftime. After halftime, though, North Medford outscored Roseburg 44-19 in the second half to give Roseburg a 25-point loss. Mentioned the turnovers there with head coach Mike Pardon. Roseburg committed 23 turnovers in that game. North Medford only had 6. Roseburg has struggled from behind the arc as of recently. They've shot just 5 of 24 from behind the arc in their last 2 games. They went 3 of 12 from three-point range against North Medford. Despite a poor three-point shooting number and despite a low score, Roseburg actually shot pretty well from the floor. They shot 46%, but they only got up 37 shot attempts. North Medford had 53 shot attempts and shot 54% from the floor. Roseburg's going to have to clean up the defense, clean up the turnovers, and see if they can pick up some momentum tonight against the Sheldon Irish. Sheldon comes in off of a 65-62 win against Grants Pass. A double-double for Patrick Herbert, the first-team all-conference selection from last year. Herbert had 21 points and 11 rebounds against Grants Pass in that non-conference game. In fact, Herbert and Colin Warmouth were 2 juniors that made it onto the first-team all-conference selections last year. 4 juniors earned all-conference honors last year in the Southwest Conference, and all 5 second-team players were seniors, so you'll see quite a few new second-teamers this year. But for the Southwest Conference, a lot of juniors coming back that were on the first-team all-conference selection last year. Warmouth is one of those. The other is Patrick Herbert, who is one of the top scorers for this Sheldon team, but was a late addition to the roster, as Sheldon had 3 football players that were still with the football team all the way to the state title game, which went till December 1st. The football team lost that state title game 34-27 against Lake Oswego. Basketball had already played 2 games by the time that the football team was done with its season. So they had to work some of those guys in. As you heard head coach Mike Pardon mention, Dominic Garvey has missed some time as well. The honorable mention all-conference selection last year as a junior. He is 6'9" and looks every bit of it as he kind of dwarfs Patrick Herbert, who is measured in at 6'6". In fact, you look up and down this Sheldon roster, and they do not have a player listed under 6 foot. Now, the truth to that, who knows exactly, but when you can at least fudge that everybody's 6 feet or taller, you know you're pretty close to being a pretty big team. They got guys listed at 6'9" for McGarvey, 6'6" for Herbert, 6'5" for Aiden Wagers. You've also got 6'4" for Deshaun O'Roy, and a number of guys at 6'2", 6'3" for Avery Templeman. There's a lot of size on the Irish side of the court. They come in 7-8 overall this year, 3-2 in their last 5 games, and they won their last matchup under head coach Daniel Clark. Sheldon comes in with a number 29 ranking in the OSAA power rankings. Sheldon did start the year in the top 10 of the OSAA coaches poll. They have since fallen out. The latest poll had only South Eugene in the top 10 at number 9. So Southwest Conference trying to earn a little bit of respect around the state. The Sheldon team likely going to be a team that could earn some respect in the coaches poll as they make their way through this conference season. We got about 5 minutes to go until the tip-off here tonight. A little bit of a late start because the JV game goes a little bit long. Slow ending to that one. It was tight throughout much of the game, but Sheldon pulls away in the final stretch to win 55-46 against the Roseburg JV squad. We got a lot of other games going on around the Umpqua Basin tonight and around the state, including Umpqua Basin teams. The Roseburg girls are on the road tonight up in Eugene to take on the Sheldon girls. Sheldon was a co-conference champion last year, and Roseburg will look to try and turn things around on their season after a tough start to the year in the non-conference portion. Roseburg will look to try and turn it around tonight as they visit the Sheldon girls. Roseburg Wrestling is over in Redmond for the Oregon Classic Wrestling Tournament. That's going on today and tomorrow. The Roseburg Indians went 3-0 in pool play over there. Started out with the round-robin pool section, and Roseburg gets wins. They go 3-0 with wins against Bend, 70-9, against Oregon City, 59-9. And against Sandy, 75-6. It was the final score. I'm pretty sure. 75-6, yeah, against Sandy there. So they go 3-0. They're into the quarterfinals coming up tomorrow. Quarterfinal round will start tomorrow at 1:50 for the Roseburg wrestling team. They're in Redmond. And rumor was they were going to face North Medford. Haven't confirmed that yet, but that was the prevailing thought after today's action. If that's the case, going to be a big Southwest Conference showdown there. North Medford's looked pretty strong this year, and that would be a big early showdown between the two teams before they get ready to play, compete against each other next week when they meet up on Wednesday down in Medford. So good luck to Roseburg Wrestling, head coach Steve Lander, and the entire crew out there as they get ready for that coming up tomorrow. Quarterfinal matchup in the Oregon Classic Wrestling Tournament. Some of your other matchups going on around the Umpqua Basin here tonight. In the Far West League tonight, you have got Sutherland down in Winston to take on the Douglas Trojans. The boys tipped off first at 6 o'clock, so that game about an hour in. They're probably getting into the second half by about now. That game on I-101 FM right now. The Sutherland girls will take on Winston coming up next. You've got South Umpqua hosting Brookings Harbor tonight in the Far West League. They're underway with the boys' game there in Tri-City as well. The Oakland boys and girls are off at Lowell tonight for a Central Valley Conference meeting. In the Southern Cascade League, Glide visits Lost River, and Canyonville Academy hosts Butte Falls. And in the 1A Skyline League, Riddle headed to North Douglas tonight for a big showdown. The Riddle boys trying to get to 15-0 on the year. Big matchup there with North Douglas. We had senior Nate Hopkins on the radio today with us during the noon hour on Off the Wall here on 1490 The Score. Talked with the senior about the hot start for the Riddle boys and what he thought about trying to get to 15-0 and further in their season. Days Creek welcomes in New Hope Christian today, and Umpqua Valley Christian hosts Glendale, while Yoncalla takes on Pacific. You can find the full schedule of all the games for tonight's action posted online at 541radio.com. Out at UCC, they've got wrestling going on tonight. The men have a double duel going on with North Idaho and with Southwestern Oregon Community College. That's going on tonight. You've got women's college hoops going on tonight. The Ducks and the Beavers, both in the top 10 of the AP Top 25. They're in action against the Arizona schools tonight. And then you've got the Portland Trailblazers coming up tonight as well. So all sorts of stuff going on in the world of sports. We'll try our best to keep you updated on everything we can throughout tonight's broadcast. We get ready for tip-off here tonight. The Roseburg Indians wearing their home whites with the orange trim. On the other side, it'll be the Road Blacks for Sheldon with the emerald green and white trim for the Irish. We'll have your starting lineups coming up here when we return, getting closer towards tip-off here tonight. This has been your Roseburg Boys Basketball pregame show brought to you by Fisher's Hearth and Home, serving Douglas County for over 30 years with the largest selection of wood, gas, pellet, and electric stoves and fireplaces in the area. That's Fisher's Hearth and Home. Tip-off will be coming up just moments from now, so stay with us, folks, as we count down to the start of Southwest Conference play. Roseburg hosts the Sheldon Irish here tonight from Stuart W. Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. It's high school basketball for you tonight on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage. Stay tuned for more basketball at 541radio.com.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Well, we get the national anthem from the Roseburg Marching Band as the game gets ready to go here tonight. Joey Keyran with you. Big thanks to Josh Nelson, Heather Nelson, and Brenton Cranford getting tonight's broadcast underway for us here. Online at 541radio.com where you can watch tonight's game for free, and also on the radio here on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score. It's time now for our Supercut starting lineups in the Steelhead Run Plaza across from Starbucks on Garden Valley Boulevard. Save time and check out styles online at supercuts.com. For the visiting Sheldon Irish, led by head coach Daniel Clark, they'll start out with senior 6'2" guard Jackson Tucker. An honorable mention all-conference selection, weighing in at 6'9", a senior Dominic McGarvey. Patrick Herbert, a first-team all-conference selection at 6'6", a senior, will get the start tonight. 6'1" junior wing Dawson Prickle starts, and rounding out the 5, it's going to be Ben Gittens, the junior 6-foot guard. That is your starting lineups for the Sheldon Irish. And we take a look now at the home team, the Roseburg boys. Their starting 5, again, brought to you by Supercuts. Jet Black, a junior, averaging 6.5 points per game, will get the start tonight. Caden Seeley, 4.9 points per game, shooting 31% from behind the arc. The senior will get the start, along with fellow senior Colin Warmouth, a 2-team all-first-team conference selection, leading scorer in the Southwest Conference with 25.9 points per game. Gets the start here tonight. For Howie Lake, a senior guard, back into the starting lineup after a one-game absence. He was sick earlier in the week, ended up missing Tuesday's start, but ended up coming off the bench. And Carson Ellis starts tonight, averaging 4.5 points per game. He shoots 85% from the free throw line. That is your Supercut starting lineups for the Roseburg Indians. And that'll get us ready for tip-off here tonight. Roseburg and Sheldon getting ready to start this one here tonight. Roseburg in white, moving left to right on your radio dial. Sheldon in black will move right to left. Again, out with injury, Jonathan Stone will miss his 5th straight game. He's on the bench in his suit. Street clothes for him. They could use him in the center circle against 6'9" Dominic McGarvey. As McGarvey, 6'9", will jump against Colin Warmouth, who has a considerable height disadvantage. Warmouth can jump, but we'll see if he can get up there against 6'9". And the tip. It's taken by Roseburg in the backcourt. Howie Lake picks it up. And Roseburg will have it into the half court. Carson Ellis with it out at the top. Looking to his left, back to his right. He'll use his dribble, hands it off to Warmouth. Roseburg and Sheldon squaring off to begin Southwest Conference play tonight. Warmouth to the right side. Jet works it around the perimeter. To the far side to Howie Lake. The backdoor cutter wasn't there, and they'll reset. On the right wing, Seeley looking underneath. Lake cutting, unable to get through the Sheldon defense. On the near side, Sheldon working with a man-to-man defense. A 3 from the top, and it's Carson Ellis with the early 3 to put Roseburg in front. They take the lead. They did not lead at all against Sheldon last time the two teams met. Cutting through the lane on the other side, Dominic McGarvey will get Sheldon on the board. 3-2, Roseburg in front by 1. Both teams with the basket on their opening possession. Howie Lake finds the backdoor cutter. It's Colin Warmouth, and Roseburg patient with their offense. That is what head coach Mike Pardon wanted to see. And he's gotten a nice start here as the ball got away on the inbound pass. They stop the clock to allow him to collect the basketball, and then Merhowie Lake needed to tie his shoe. McGarvey will bring it up the floor. Three from the far side is off the mark. Rebound by Patrick Herbert. The big man puts it back. That three from the far side by Tucker was long. Herbert had the weak side rebound, and the offensive board leads to a second chance point, 5-4. Minute and a half into this ball game. A three from Jet Black. He was fading away off the iron, no good. And Seeley will come down with the rebound. Back to Warmouth. His three is off the mark, and Herbert will pick it up on the baseline and is fouled by Merhowie Lake. Lake will pick up his first personal. So Roseburg, an empty trip down the floor, the first one for them. 5-4 your score. Roseburg still in front. Sheldon with a chance to take the lead. Left side, Prickle out to the top to Herbert. To the far side of the floor, Gittins with it. They'll work it to the top, into the middle. Working against Carson Ellis. Ellis was pushing and shoving, but he doesn't get called for that. What he got called for was reaching to try and get the block shot against McGarvey. He got a lot of the ball, but ended up into the body, and Carson Ellis is going to pick up his first. Roseburg does not have a lot of height to work with when it comes to facing off against such a big team in Sheldon. Their bigs have to do a good job of making sure to stay out of foul trouble. First one goes through for McGarvey to tie the game up, and his second one long. Rebound down to Merhowie Lake. McGarvey 1 and 2 from the line. We're tied at 5. Left side of the floor. Fake the handoff. Lake drives in underneath the basket, out to Seeley to the top. Trying to drive in. Warmouth got airborne, sends it out. Ellis, he'll have an open look at a three. It's off the back iron, no good. Rebound comes down to Gittin. He'll bring it up the floor. Driving left side of the lane. Stops at the post, and a offensive foul. They say he pushed off. Ben Gittins, the junior guard, gets called for using the off arm to shove off Merhowie Lake, and will walk down to the other side of the floor. Roseburg will have it after the Sheldon turnover. Out at the top, Herbert marking against Ellis. You've got Herbert at 6'6", McGarvey at 6'9". A lot of height for Sheldon. Driving in, Seeley, he had contact, can't get a whistle. Misses the shot, got redirected back into him. Driving the other side of the floor, left-handed lay-in, no good. Rebound, offensive for McGarvey. He can't get it to go either. Driving through the lane, Tucker couldn't get that left-handed scoop shot to go. Black will send it out to the top to Lake. Merhowie to the near side to Jet. They get it to Seeley. Look for the underneath cutter. Shot got swatted out of bounds as the recovery defense by Ben Gittins got there in time. Lake was wide open underneath, but couldn't get the shot off in time. Out to the top, Seeley thought about a three. Instead, into the corner. Catch and shoot three from Warmouth was halfway down before it comes back out. 0 for 2 from behind the line for Colin Warmouth. Roseburg 1 for 5 from behind the arc to start. Driving in, Tucker, spin move, pass out to the top. McGarvey drives in with the right hand. He gets the floater. And Sheldon will take their first lead of the game at 7-5. Back and forth first quarter. Roseburg doing a nice job sticking in so far. Around a screen, driving baseline, got bumped. They won't give him the continuation. But Colin Warmouth will draw a foul against Dawson Prickle. Prickle picks up his first, second team foul against Sheldon. 4:35 to go, first quarter.
Sheldon foul number 12.
Inbound underneath the basket for Jet Black. Gets it to Lake, gets it right back. Out to the top, dribbling with the left hand to Warmouth on the right wing. Looking underneath to Ellis, who doesn't have position against Herbert. Warmouth draws it back out. They dribble to the far side, Seeley with it in the corner. Ellis at the top, calls for the offense to move, picks up his dribble, back to Warmouth on the left wing. Going to drive baseline. His floater from the left side, unable to hit. Sheldon with the board up the floor on the far side. Stop, almost travel, he did. Dawson Prickle wanted the jump stop, was going to send it back out around the perimeter, but was losing his balance, falling over, drags the back foot, gives it back to Roseburg. 7-5 your score. Sheldon still in front midway through this first quarter. Handoff to Black. Jet brings it up to the top. Merhowie at the top now. Bounces it to the left elbow. Ellis, ball over his head, looking. Will pass it into the corner. Seeley on the give and go. It's not there. He dribbles it back out. They find Warmouth on the far side. He's looking for those cutters. Not there. Roseburg trying to be very patient here early on That is what Coach Mike Pardon was preaching in our pregame interview. Roseburg is worn off almost a minute and a half here on this possession. A three from the top by Jet, and Jet Black. His first points of the night put Roseburg back in front, 8-7. 3:24 to play, first quarter. McGarvey out at the top to Tucker, into the corner. Driving with it, Gittens. His baseline jumper off. McGarvey, the offensive board, and the putback. His size is just too much for Roseburg in the middle. McGarvey with the offensive board, gets the two. He's got 7 points in the first period, and he's got Sheldon back in front 9-8. Pass into the corner. Ellis thought Collin was going to head to the baseline. He had faked that way and then was cutting back out to the perimeter. Ellis passed it back into the corner, and there was nobody there to get it. Turnover by Roseburg. 3 minutes to play exactly. Timeout down on the floor by Roseburg. We'll take the timeout as well. It's a 30-second break. Back after this on CBS Sports Radio, 1490, The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Out of the Roseburg timeout. Sheldon will have the basketball. Bringing it across the timeline, Jackson Tucker. The senior passes it away to the far side. A couple of passes out beyond the perimeter. They go left side in the corner. McGarvey looking underneath. Herbert was underneath, had position. Roseburg almost steals it. A foul on the floor. Roseburg had their hands on the basketball. Good defense against Herbert, but as the ball was loose, the scramble for the basketball. And Roseburg gets called for the foul. It'll be the first on Jet Black. Inbound into the corner. Catch driving in is the newly entered Cameron Owen. His pass to Herbert almost goes out of bounds. Patrick with the good hands. Shot was no good. He got his own rebound, had another look. Can't hit either one. Up the floor in transition. Colin Warmoth wanted to say he got pushed in the back. Can't get the lay-in to go. He'll hustle back on defense right in the middle of the lane. Offensive foul. Driving right through the middle of the lane into the game is Bryce Seghetti. He comes off the bench and picks up an early foul, third against Sheldon. He went coast to coast, had the ball cradled in one hand when airborne, made the late pass to Herbert, but as he continued, he took out a Roseburg player and commits the foul. 9-8, Sheldon still in front by 1. Pass near side, Jet just throws it out of bounds. Was trying to get it to Merhowie Lake on the near sideline. D'Angelo Adams and Carson Ellis are going to check into the game. Excuse me, Xavier Aviles will come into the game along with D'Angelo Adams for Merhowie Lake and Carson Ellis. Sheldon will bring it across the timeline. Tucker handling the point. Passes it off on the left side. Owen to Herbert. Trying to get it to McGarvey underneath. The pass too high. It's stolen away by D'Angelo Adams. Roseburg out in transition, looking to try and take a lead here before the end of the first quarter. Warmoth picks up his dribble, gets it to Jet. Adams will pass left side. He cuts to the basket, not open. Aviles looks for the backdoor cutter. He finds Jet, and his lay-in's too strong. Last touched off of Dominic McGarvey. And Roseburg will get it back underneath their own bench. Beautiful pass by Xavier Aviles, finding the cutter and splitting the defense by just fractions of an inch, but unable to finish. Caden Seeley was just too strong with the lay-in. Out at the wing, Warmoth into the corner. A three from Seeley is too long. The weak side rebound, though, comes down to Black. He goes to Adams. Might have had the too many passes on that one. Sheldon comes away with the steal. Jet was open, probably should have just attacked the basket. Out at the top with the basketball, Owen trying to dribble around Adams, and a pass into the middle, and they're going to hack at Patrick Herbert and send him to the free throw line. They call the foul against Caden Seeley. Fourth against Roseburg here in the first half. It'll be the first on Caden Seeley. Patrick Herbert will head to the free throw line. He gets a chance to shoot two. While we've got a moment, let you know tonight's game brought to you by Flyaway Travel. Contact their travel experts for your travel plans. Now located at 1445 West Harvard Avenue, or give them a call at 672-57 0-1. McGarvey will come out of the game. Gets a breather. Jacob Frey will come into the game, or Howie Lake checks in for Roseburg. And Jet Black will get a chance to rest his legs. Miss on the free throw, tapped out of bounds by Sheldon. And Roseburg will get it back. Roseburg with the basketball, 1:13 to play. They're down by 2. Sheldon back to its largest lead of the game at 10-8. Avilés with it out at the top. Bounces it near side. Seeley with it. Crossover dribble. Things open up. He goes into the corner to Adams, though. Defense collapsed on him. Avilés bounces it. Finds Lake. He got hit as he was going up. I was wondering if they might call it travel. He never put the ball on the floor, but it didn't look like he took many steps. I thought he was safe, but it was kind of close. But Lake gets hit. He'll head to the free throw line. Not a lot of free throw attempts this season from Howie Lake, but he hits the first. Draws Roseburg back within 1. 55.6 seconds to go here in the first quarter. The second free throw is good, and we're all knotted up at 10 apiece. Sheldon will bring it up the floor. On the near side, catch and shoot a 3, buries it. They left Seghetti wide open, and Bryce hits his first bucket. Sheldon's out to its biggest lead at 13-10, 41 seconds. Warmouth with it out at the top. Crosses over back to his right, hands it off to Lake. Dribbles to the top, pump fake once with the basketball, goes to the top of the key. Avilés with it. He looks back to the right, gives it to Warmouth. Tries to kind of set a screen. Collin almost loses a handle on the basketball. Hands it back to Adams. Adams out to the top to Avilés. They'll reset. Seeley comes to get it on the left wing. Down to 16 seconds to play first quarter. Collin gets free from his defender. Catch and shoot a 3. It's on target, just short. And on the rebound, a foul is called. It goes against Cameron Owen on the rebound attempt. Going up there, it looked like they do call it against Owen, and I believe that is D'Angelo Adams that was able to draw the Sheldon foul. 15 foul against the Irish. Inbound underneath their own basket for Roseburg. They trail by 3 with 9.7 to go. Inbound into Warmouth. Gets in the lane, gets free from the defender, and right over the front of the iron. Collin puts it through. Back within 1 for Roseburg. 2 seconds. The spot up 3 from the top. Almost goes through off the backboard. Just off the mark for Jackson Tucker. At the end of 1, it's 13-12. Sheldon in front of Roseburg. 60-second break and be back with more. This is Roseburg Basketball on 541radio.com and 1490 The Score.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage. Stay tuned for more Roseburg basketball at 541radio.com.
Start of the second quarter. Sheldon with the basketball. Roseburg basketball brought to you by Pepsi and Bigfoot Beverages. Sheldon moving right to left on your radio dial. They lead 13-12. Largest lead has been 3 for both teams. Out at the top, Jackson Tucker with it. Tucker passes to Seghetti on the far side. You've got Tucker, Seghetti, Owen out there on the floor, along with Frey, and into the game, Aiden Wagers for the first time. A 3 from the top is off the mark. Jet Black down with the rebound. Roseburg will limit Sheldon to 1 attempt on their opening possession. 7.5 minutes to go before the halftime break. Avilés with it out at the top for Roseburg. Xavier Avilés, Howie Lake, D'Angelo Adams, Jet Black, and Collin Warmouth out on the floor to start the second quarter for the Indians. Pass to the left side, Warmouth with it at the wing. Crossover dribble. Going to drive left side, kicks back into the corner. A 3 from Lake, misses everything, well short. Sheldon up the floor with the basketball, buries it. Seghetti hits his second 3 of the night. And Sheldon out to their biggest lead now at 4, 16-12, 6:59 to play, second quarter. Warmouth to Lake on the far side. Adams comes to get it. High between the circles, nearly throws it away. Saved back in by Black, but a travel called against Adams, and Roseburg will give it back to Sheldon. Almost turned it over, saved it back in, and then they do turn it over. 4-point lead for Sheldon. Carson Ellis comes back into the game for Roseburg. Xavier Avilés takes a seat. Also checking out Jacob Frey. Heads to the bench. Back into the game, Ben Gittens for Sheldon. Seghetti with it on the far side. Bounce to the baseline to Wagers, who checks in at 6'5". Driving in the middle of the lane, Griffin Line, who has come in, and Line gets called for a travel as he was trying to attack the middle of the lane. His jump stop couldn't keep the feet planted. Griffin Line, the soon-to-be starting quarterback for the Sheldon football team, did start some this year in place of Michael Johnson Jr., who was out with injury, the son of the head football coach, Josh Line. Pass into the corner. Warmouth got around the defense. No whistle either side. No charge, no block. And Warmouth can't get the lay-in to go. Sheldon up the floor. And they'll call it a block out of bounds by Merhowy Lake. It'll be Roseburg basketball. Or excuse me, it'll be Sheldon basketball on their own side of the floor. 5 fouls on Sheldon, 4 on Roseburg here in the first half. 6:13 to play. Bounce, nobody around Bryce Seghetti. Wide open underneath the basket. He lays it in easily. 18-12, Sheldon in front. The 6-point lead is their largest, starting to pull away here in the second quarter. In fact, Roseburg has so far given up a 5-0 run by Sheldon. Ball tipped out of bounds into the stands. Roseburg able to keep the possession. Griffin Line getting a hand on that one. A couple of Southwest Conference quarterbacks going at it here. Line against Colin Warmouth, who was the quarterback for the Roseburg football team. Warmouth will back it out here. 5:49 to play in the second quarter. Lake on the far side. Bounce at the top to Ellis. Turns to face the basket. Pump fake once. Going to drive right side. Offensive. He runs into the Sheldon defender, and Ellis will pick up his second. Roseburg's going to use a timeout. The Irish leading by 6, and Roseburg going to take 60 seconds to talk about it. We'll take a quick 30-second break and come back with more of this first half after this on 541radio.com and on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Well, folks, the big game is almost here, and our that word we can't say, Squares game is back. Yeah, that's right, the Squares game is back. Head to 541radio.com today and sign up for a chance to get your name in a square. This year, we've partnered with Waterscape Spas and Pools to give away a Big Green Egg barbecue and plenty more. It's valued at over $1,100. So head to 541radio.com today and get signed up. 5:30 to play, second quarter. Sheldon with the basketball out of the Roseburg timeout. They work it into the corner to Griffin Line, who was wide open on the baseline. His shot, though, off the mark. Out to Seghetti, who hits his third 3 of the night. And it's suddenly a 9-point game, 21-12. Bryce Seghetti has now 11 points in the game, 8 of them coming here in the second quarter. Colin Warmouth out at the top. Roseburg has not scored in the second quarter. Pass to the free throw line, almost stolen away by Herbert. Pass into the corner. Lake thought about a 3. Now he will take it after the jab step. No good. Rebound tipped by Seeley. Lake will track it down, and Roseburg will get another look. Nearing the midway point of the second quarter, Roseburg's got to get some offense going. Ellis with it out at the top. Dribbles right side, gives it to Warmouth. Out at the top around a screen. He's able to get free a little bit. His shot was no good, but Seeley tips it to Black, and Roseburg will get another look. A third chance on this possession. They trail by 9. Pass stolen away by Line. Out in front, Seghetti. He's going to get another point. No, he misses the lay-in. Bryce Seghetti might have gotten a little too fancy with the breakaway lay-in. Pass underneath, tipped up. Going to stay with Roseburg. Jet Black had a defender, I think it was Griffin Line, that's tried to step in front of a pass and take it away, and Jet wanted a foul. Had some words to the official on the far side. Didn't get the whistle, though. Calling a jump step in, and they will call blocking foul against Sheldon. It'll be the 16th foul against the Irish. Collin drawing the foul there. And they're going to say he was shooting, apparently. So he'll get 2 shots. Colin Warmeth to the free throw line for the first time tonight. Roseburg, as a team, has just 2 shots, and Colin will miss the first. Chance to cut into the 9-point deficit. He's unable to hit the front end. His second one coming. Tonight's game brought to you by Good Vibration Solutions for home theater and automotive audio. You can feel it at Good Vibes. An 0 for 2 trip at the line for Colin Warmeth. You do not see that too often. Quickly up the floor. It's Seghetti. He had his shot tipped. No good. And Roseburg will get it up the floor. Midway point of the second quarter. They got to get something going here. Have not scored in the second period. It has been an 8-0 run so far for Sheldon. Warmeth at the top into the corner. Ellis does not take the 3. To Lake on the far side. Jet will come to get it. Right back to Merhowie and then back to Lake. Or excuse me, to Jet. Look for that backdoor cutter. It wasn't there. Seeley will dribble it to the top. Resets the offense. Needs some help. He'll get it to Lake. Lake with the finger roll right in front of the basket. Stops the run by Sheldon. Roseburg back within 7. Out at the top, Griffin Line going to try to attack. Had it tipped away. Gets free underneath, and he'll get the bucket. Almost lost it. Got it back and found himself wide open underneath. From the left side, he puts it through and back out to a 9-point lead, 23-14. Colin with it, right side, crossover, trying to go one-on-one from the free throw line. He'll pass out to the corner. Short. The three-point shot was short by Ellis, and a foul called on the rebound attempt on Caden Seeley. And that'll be Caden's second, 16th foul against Roseburg. And substitutions in. Dominic Garvey comes back into the game for Bryce Seghetti, who will check out with 11 points here in the first half. Leading scorer right now for Sheldon. McGarvey, the second leading. He had 7 in the first quarter, but has been getting a lengthy break. Tucker will bring the ball up the floor for the Irish. Dribbles to the left side, passes it off at the wing with the basketball. Prickle. Line, crossover dribble, got hit on the right side of the lane, pass it away. They go to Herbert underneath, the give and go, and unable to finish was Prickle. Rebound, offensive attempt for Sheldon, and saved back in by Merhowie Lake. It was Prickle missing, and then there was a second attempt in the middle of the lane by Sheldon. They couldn't hit. Driving baseline, scoop pass by Lake off the mark. Tip to Warmeth, though. He keeps it on Roseburg's side of the floor. Crossover, gets to the free throw line in the middle. Short on the shot. It's tipped up. Line saves it back into Warmeth. He tries to split the defense. His shot is too far underneath the basket. Hits the underside of the backboard. Up the floor, Tucker. And a whistle away from the basket. They're going to call this one on Sheldon, I believe. They call it on Patrick Herbert. Herbert will pick up his first. And that's the 7th foul against Sheldon. So Roseburg's into the bonus. They'll start getting free throws. Roseburg had inbounded the ball, but the official's still talking at the scorer's table, so they'll do it again. 2:09 to go in the second period. Roseburg has had just 2 points here in this period. Sheldon has scored 10. On the far side of the floor. Lake with it. Out to the top, working against Griffin Line. Jet looking for that underneath cutter. It's not there. He drives into the free throw line, pass it away to Ellis at the top. Calls for Warmeth to come get it, and Colin does. Minute 48 to go as Colin dribbles to the right side at the wing, fakes the handoff, going to drive baseline. The defense in front of him. He somehow works around it and gets it to fall through. His first points of the second quarter. Back to a 7-point game. Line going to try a quick 3 from the right side. Off the mark, tip up on the rebound. Seeley comes down with it. He'll bring it up the floor. Roseburg a chance to cut it down to a 2-possession game. Around a screen, hand it back to Seeley. And Colin will get it out at the top. Roseburg will run through their offense. Colin cutting through the left side. He gets the bank shot. soaring through the air, cutting from the right side of the lane to the left side, banks it off the glass and puts it through. And a carry call against Sheldon. It goes back to Roseburg. And the Indians with a chance to make a run here at the end of the second quarter, try and get themselves back into this game, trailing by 5 at the moment. Collin will get it in the backcourt. D'Angelo Adams has checked into the game for Roseburg. Adams, Warmoth, Black, Lake, and Ellis out on the floor. They go to Adams underneath. He had his shot blocked out of bounds. It'll stay with Roseburg. Right idea by D'Angelo, but he was just going up against Dominic McGarvey at 6'9" versus Adams, who's about 6'2", at best 6'3". That's a tough one there. Inbound to Lake, gets it right back to Jet. Into the corner, Warmoth, head fake, drives baseline, backing in, turn around, skip pass along the baseline, knocked out of bounds by Line. It stays with Roseburg. 45 seconds to go here. A 3 gets Roseburg back within 2 as they trail by 5. Although Roseburg with just 2 made three-pointers in this first half. Warmoth with it out on the left wing. Working against Prickle. He drives in. The foul, no, they won't put it through. They say the foul on the floor, but it should send Warmoth to the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity. The foul goes against Dawson Prickle, his second. 38 seconds to go in the first half. At the free throw line, Collin Warmoth 0 for 2 his last time there. 1-and-1, he'll hit the first. Xavier Aviles will check into the game. Carson Ellis comes out. Roseburg basketball here on 1490 The Score, brought to you by DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone's welcome to shop. Second free throw, Warmoth hits. Back to a three-point game, 35 seconds to play in the first half. Calling out the instructions, Jason Tucker waving his hands. He'll get the offense starter. Line will have it out on the far side of the floor near midcourt. He'll hold. As Sheldon holding for the last shot. Coming out to mark him, Jet Black will get the count started. Now backs off. Jackson Tucker will back out, and they'll continue to wear down the clock. 10 seconds to go. They start. Herbert to McGarvey at the top. To the far side. They go back to Herbert on the pick and roll. And it's knocked out of bounds by Jet Black. 3.6 seconds to go. Sheldon still with the basketball. Inbounding from the far corner. Good defense, getting a hand in on that one by Jet. And they got to get the play started here. They're going to inbound from the sideline. Sheldon looked like they were just taking their time trying to figure out what play they wanted to run. 3 seconds to go. Inbound to Line. He splits the defense too hard with the shot, get his own rebound. And they're going to let the first half come to an end as Line got a bit mugged while he was going up for the offensive rebound. But Roseburg fights their way back within 3. Your score at halftime, 23-20. The Sheldon Irish in front of the Roseburg Indians. We'll come back with the more well-drilling halftime show to recap the first half of action for you. This is Roseburg basketball. It's been brought to you by Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County. Recapping the first half when we return with the more well-drilling halftime show on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
Sports fans, thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage. Stay tuned for more Roseburg basketball on radio.com.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
It's the More Well Drilling halftime show here from Roseburg High School tonight. More Well Drilling, keeping Douglas County green since 1947. Give them a call at 541-459-4039. Your score at the break, 23-20. Sheldon in front of Roseburg. The Indians keeping things close here in the first half. Fell behind by as many as 9 points in the second quarter, but fight their way back to close back within 3 at the break. Joey Keyran here with you. I want to say big thanks to Josh Nelson, Heather Nelson, and Brenton Cranford for their help with tonight's production of the broadcast. Appreciate everybody helping make this the best that we can do here on 1490 The Score. Well, at the end of the first quarter, it was still a tight one there. Roseburg and Sheldon both led by 3 in the first period, but it was a 13-12 score at the end of one. Sheldon in front of Roseburg, but the Irish go on a big run, 10-0 run to start out the the second quarter. And Roseburg fell behind by as many. Actually, I believe it was a 8-0 run by Sheldon to get out to a 9-point lead before Roseburg finally got on the board. Then the Roseburg Indians finished it on a run of their own, finished with 8 points in the second quarter. Sheldon had 10, stretching their lead from 1 to 3 here at the halftime break. But Roseburg down by as many as 9 in that second period. They go on a run and able to get back into this one, forcing some miscues from the Sheldon offense and finally getting some offense to go on the other side of the floor. At the halftime break, again, your score, 23-20. We got plenty coming up here for you during the halftime show. We'll take a look at individual scoring when we come back. Plus, we'll see if we can find you any other scores from other games of note around the Umpqua Basin and in the world of sports here on this Friday night. After one half of play, Sheldon leads Roseburg 23-20. Back with more of the More Well Drilling halftime show after this here on 541radio.com and on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
At Brooke Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brooke Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brooke Communications.
At the halftime break, our score 23-20. It's the Morwell Drilling halftime show. Keeping Douglas County green since 1947. Give them a call at 541-459-4039. Let's take a look at scoring. We start with the visiting team. 23 points for Sheldon. Leading the way with 11 is Bryce Seghetti off the bench. He's got 3 3-pointers. 7 points for Dominic McGarvey, all in the first quarter. 3 points for Patrick Herbert. 2 points for Griffin Line, and that is your scoring from the first half for Sheldon. Leading the way on the boards for them, Bryce Seghetti with 4 rebounds. Sheldon had 8 turnovers in the first half. For Roseburg, 20 points on the board. Leading the way, Colin Warmuth with 10. 4 points for Merhowie Lake. 3 points for Carson Ellis and for Jet Black. That is your scoring from the first half for Roseburg. 4 rebounds for Jet, leading the way for the Indians. And Roseburg with 7 turnovers in the first half. Quick take a look at some scores from around the region here tonight. Some things of note for us. Taking a look at boys basketball to get things started here. South Umpqua falls to Brookings Harbor tonight, 82-45 in the Far West League. You've also got, let's see, other final scores. Roseburg's JV losing against Sheldon tonight. The boys 55-46. On the girls' side, a final North Douglas defeats Riddle 48-17. Yoncalla falls by 1 against Pacific in girls basketball tonight, 37-36. And out on the coast, Reedsport, for a coastal team, Reedsport falling to Myrtle Point tonight, 53-33. In high school wrestling, Roseburg goes 3-0 today in duels at the Oregon Classic Wrestling. And the Oregon women's basketball team is winning 64-55 against Arizona State up at home for the number 5 Ducks against the number 19 Arizona State Sun Devils. Oregon State women in action as well. The number 10 Oregon State women winning 35-28 against Arizona in the second quarter, almost halftime there. It is halftime here. That does it for the Morwell Drilling halftime show. Stay tuned. We'll have the second half coming up after this 60-second break here on 1490 The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Time for third quarter action. Roseburg trailing Sheldon 23-20. The Indians will start with the basketball. Tonight's game brought to you by Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair. Are you ready to go where life takes you? Roseburg will now be moving right to left on your radio dial, wearing their home whites. The road blacks for Sheldon, who will move left to right. Roseburg trailing by 3. They've got the starting 5 on the floor. A 3 from straight away by Jet Black, just off the mark. As we get things underway in the second half. Sheldon down with the rebound. They'll move up the floor. Out to the top with it. Tucker driving in. Pass it back to McGarvey. Drives in. Makes an extra pass. Tried the two-hand flush by Herbert. He didn't get the dunk, but he gets his own rebound and gets the putback. Out to a 5-point lead for Sheldon to start the second half. Warmuth. Jet Black. Caden Seeley, Merhowie Lake, Carson Ellis out on the floor for Roseburg to start the second half. Warmuth driving towards the baseline, into the corner for Lake. Couple of head fakes, dribbles out to the top. Zone defense from Sheldon to start the second half. Into the corner, an open look at a 3 from Warmuth. It's short. That one looks short from the start, and Patrick Herbert down with an easy rebound. Out at the top with it, Ben Gittins, pass it to the top to Herbert. To the near side to Dawson Prickle. Jackson Tucker will get it on the far wing. Dominic McGarvey, the other starter here in the second half, as the original starting 5 on the floor for the Sheldon Irish. Jackson Tucker misses a mid-range jumper. Down with the rebound was Carson Ellis. Roseburg brings it up the floor. One-handed pass into the corner. A 3 from Jet Black. His rainbow shot off the mark, but Seeley comes down with the rebound. Into the corner, a three now from Lake is off the mark, and McGarvey will get the rebound. 2 missed threes on that possession for Roseburg. On the other side, it's a three, misses everything off the hands of Ben Gittens. His first his first shot attempt of the second half and of the game, misses everything. Timeout down on the floor by Sheldon, an early one here in the second half. We'll take a quick 30-second break and be back with more of the action for you on 1490 The Score. Out of the Sheldon timeout, Roseburg with the basketball, trailing 25-20, 6:19 to go in the third quarter. Carson Ellis out at the top, straight away. He'll turn and he'll launch a three, and he's got it. Carson Ellis hits his second of the night, gets Roseburg back within two. Sheldon quickly up the floor on the left side with it. Prickle out to the top to McGarvey, to the near side to Tucker. He'll drive into the lane, pass out to the top. Prickle makes the extra pass to Herbert on the right side, marked by Seeley. He'll have to pass it up. Driving left side, McGarvey gets to the lane with those long arms, almost gets it to roll, and then a foul called after the rebound by Ellis. McGarvey, those long arms just stretching to the rim, but his finger roll just does not want to go. And they call the foul on Patrick Herbert, his second. First of the second half for either side. Roseburg with the basketball, a chance to tie or take the lead on a made basket. Ellis with it out at the top. Just had the three for the first points of the second half for Roseburg. Looking and looking. He's got to do something, and it's a 5-second count. Carson Ellis standing there, had the count going, and the official gets the 5. He did nothing with the basketball. Finally has to give it up. Turnover by Roseburg, 5.5 to play in the third period. Patrick Herbert just muscles his way to the rim, but his shot won't go, and tipped out by Carson Ellis underneath. He had McGarvey all over his back. But McGarvey is a big man. He can reach over the top of everybody out on the floor. He gets it long two from straight away. And Dominic McGarvey will drill it. Feet all over the line, but he stretches back out to a 4-point lead for Sheldon. Jet Black to the far side to Seeley. Look for that cutter. Warmouth not open. They'll reset. Collin will come to get it at the top. Jet to the near side. Into the corner for Merhowie. Merhowie dumps it to Warmouth underneath. He gets pushed as he went airborne, trying to pass it into the corner.
Both ways. Sheldon foul number 5, Patrick Herbert. His third.
Going to say shooting foul. We got one side saying shooting, one side saying passing. The officials all looking at one another, trying to figure out what the call is going to be. The officials will get together, and they say it's a 2-shot foul. So Colin Warmouth will head to the line, a chance to cut it down to a 2-point game. 5:03 to go here in the third quarter. Roseburg basketball is brought to you by Bi-Mart. Score big at Bi-Mart where you can get ready for your season for less. First one for Warmouth goes through. Coming into the game, Jacob Frey. Patrick Herbert will take a seat for the Irish. Herbert coming off of that 21-point game. He's got 5 here tonight. Second free throw, short, but it will fall through. Gets the home court bounce to go through. Roseburg back within 2, 27-25, 4:59 to play third quarter. To the far side, they work down to McGarvey. Looking for the cutters. He'll pass out to the top with the basketball. Frey drives right side into the corner. Back to McGarvey at the free throw line. Turns to face the basket. Dribbled it off the foot of Colin Warmouth, but got it back. They try to look underneath to him. He's not open. They go back to the top to Tucker. He'll float it up. No good. And last touch by McGarvey as he tried to reach for the rebound. Out of bounds on the baseline. Roseburg will get it. Chance again to tie or take the lead. 4:34 to play third quarter. Never been a double-digit lead for Sheldon, but their biggest lead has been 9, and they've led most of the game, but Roseburg did lead early on by 3. Near side, Lake with it, dribbles to the top, lob pass to Warmouth. He'll go, tacks the basket. His finger roll is good. We're tied at 27 all. Warmouth on the bucket from the right side over the fingertips of McGarvey to even this one up. Driving in, pass back into the corner. Tucker driving baseline, looking for a teammate out to the top. Prickle head fake, pass into the corner. A 3, short, rebound down to Warmouth. Off the mark for Frey. Warmouth out in front. It's Lake from the left side, no good. The offensive board and put back for Carson Ellison. Roseburg's back in front. 29-27, Roseburg trying to hold on to home court advantage here at home. 29-27, 3:40 to go, third quarter. Pass on the cutter, left side with the basketball. Gittins has to pass it away to the top. Prickle a 3, back iron, no good. Jet Black hit from behind, trying to get into a hand on the rebound. Jacob Frey gets called for a push from behind. Frey will pick up, I believe, his first. Third foul against Sheldon here in the second half. So far, none for Roseburg. Roseburg basketball. McGarvey checks out of the game, so does Prickle. Shorter lineup for the Irish. Roseburg will see if they can take advantage. They've been playing pretty well with the height of Sheldon. Pass to the far side to Lake, almost too far out in front of him, but he's able to track it down. He gets it to Ellis at the top straight away. To Jet on the far side. Go underneath to Ellis. He tries to muscle his way to a basket. Can't get the shot to go, but he'll head to the free throw line. His turnaround jumper just a little flat. Carson Ellis to the line for the first time tonight. Sheldon looks like they're going with a strategy of trying to go with a smaller lineup, see if they can be a little bit more aggressive on the defensive side, as they were a lot tighter on the defensive pressure. Ellis's first free throw falls through. Roseburg stretches its lead out to its largest of the game at 30, matching what they had at 3, matching the largest they had in the first half. Tonight's game is brought to you by Mahalo Heating and Cooling, your best choice for the finest indoor comfort control. Call them today at 672-6707. Ellis can't get the second to give Roseburg its largest lead. Other way we go. Griffin Line takes the initiative and heads right to the rim himself. And he's going to pick up a foul against D'Angelo Adams. First foul against Roseburg, second half. First against D'Angelo Adams. And to the free throw line goes Griffin Line. 2 points in the first half for the junior. He'll get a chance to shoot 2 here and see if he can get Sheldon back within 1. First shot, rims off. Tonight's game also been brought to you by Good Vibrations, solutions for home theater and automotive audio. You can feel it at Good Vibes. Before they get the ball to the shooter, D'Angelo Adams will run back in to man a spot on the left side of the lane. Second free throw, rims around and out, and Ellis comes down with the rebound. Empty trip to the free throw line for Griffin Line. Warmouth brings it across the timeline. Roseburg leading by 3, looking for their largest lead of the night. Warmouth picks up his dribble. He gets it to a cutting Caden Seeley. Out to Ellis at the top. Hands it off to Warmouth. Driving left side, muscling his way in. The whistle, blocking foul against Line. The Sheldon faithful not happy. They wanted it offensive, as it looked as if Warmouth kind of buried his head and shoulder into the defender, but Line was definitely not set, was backpedaling his way. And they'll call the blocking foul, 5th against Sheldon. Roseburg has it on their own baseline. Warmouth into the corner for Seeley. 2:38 to play, third quarter. Ball got poked away from Seeley. It goes right to Warmouth. His lay-in from the right side, no good. Rebound, tipped out. It'll stay with Roseburg. Ellis from the free throw line, too strong. Rebound in and out of the hands of Seeley, and down with it is Tucker. Up the other way we go. And Line had it stripped out of his hands. He was going up and lost a handle on it. Warmouth with it, drives left side, gets baseline, a bump, his shot, no good. And to the line again goes Colin Warmouth. It's one thing he is almost a specialist at, drawing that contact and heading to the free throw line. He's been there 6 times tonight. He'll try to stretch Roseburg's lead to its largest of the night as he goes there for, well, he's had 6 attempts. He's been there 3 times. It'll be his 4th trip, his 7th and 8th free throw attempts. He hits the first. Roseburg in front by 4, their largest margin. Xavier Avilés will come in for Roseburg. Carson Ellis will get a breather. Second free throw from Warmouth, nothing but nylon. And Roseburg's in front by 5, their largest lead of the night. 2:10 to play, third quarter. to the left side of the floor. Sheldon with it. Line around a screen. Tries to attack the left side of the lane, and he just ran right into the Roseburg defense. Warmoth comes up with it. He'll go one-on-one, got bumped, doesn't get a whistle, and Line comes down with it. He had teammates, didn't use them. Left side, Tucker. Crossover dribble, goes baseline underneath the basket, makes the extra pass. Shot is blocked by Jet Black out of bounds, and it stays with the Irish. The lay-in attempt by Seghetti. He tried to go with a floater. Beautiful extra pass by Jackson Tucker. He found a cutting Bryce Seghetti, who was in a great position to get a bucket, but he goes with the floater instead of trying to go strong to the rim, and Jet Black just swats it like a volleyball out of bounds. 1:46 to play. Third quarter. Inbound from in front of their bench for Sheldon. Comes into Jackson Tucker. McGarvey's back into the game for the Irish. Out at the top, Seghetti drives in, makes the pass into the corner. Head fake by Wagers, drives in, and a foul called. And they call it on Warmoth. That'll be the first for Colin Warmoth. Second team foul against Roseburg here in the third. Inbound underneath the bench, goes right into Wagers, hands it off. Driving in, Tucker. He gets hit. And that's Merhowie Lake going to get picked up his second.
Roseburg foul number 15, Merhowie Lake. His second.
Inbound from the baseline again for Sheldon. 32-27, Roseburg in front by 5. Whistles. It's the official on the far side of the floor. Caden Seeley and Dominic McGarvey kind of battling for position underneath. They find once again it's Seghetti on the inbound play. He just gets completely free. No one on him, and he has an easy 2. Sheldon back within 3. 32-29, a minute 22 to go, third quarter. Seeley on the left side. Looks back to his right. Will go to Lake in the corner. Lake's going to drive baseline. Got it up quickly. Shot no good. Adams down with it. Has to clear. Goes out to the top to Seeley. A 3 is good. Caden Seeley, his first bucket of the night, comes at a big moment. And Roseburg's out to their largest lead at 6. Driving right side, Tucker. Passes it back out. Wagers driving right side. His teardrop shot no good. Rebound tip to Seeley. He gets it out in front. It's Warmoth behind the back. Got it stripped out of his hands. No foul, and it'll stay with Roseburg. Roseburg inbounds from their own sideline, or their own baseline. Xavier Avilés has come into the game. Avilés, Lake, Seeley, Adams, and Warmoth out there. Ball nearly stripped away from Seeley. Race for it, and McGarvey will come up with it. Turnover by Roseburg. 32 seconds to go, third quarter. Up the floor, Tucker stopping the lane. Gets it to Wagers underneath, and he'll get the bucket. Aiden Wagers, his first points of the night. Gets Sheldon to 31 points. They trail by 4, 35-31. 17 seconds to go in the third. Warmoth with it at the top, working against Jacob Frey. Crossover, goes left side, takes contact at the free throw line. His shot won't fall. It hit every inch of the rim. Down with it is Sheldon, 5 seconds. Near side, Seghetti, head fake. He'll go on the 3 before the buzzer. Back iron, no good. Rebound down to Avilés. And we head to the fourth quarter with Roseburg leading 35-31. Back with more Roseburg basketball as we head to the fourth. The Indians in front by 4. This is Roseburg basketball on 1490, The Score.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Sheldon starts with the basketball as we begin the fourth quarter. 35-31 is your score. Crossover dribble. Jacob Frey in the lane. His double clutch lay-in will be good for Jacob Frey. And his lay-in makes it a 2-point game. 35-33, Roseburg in front. Joey Keyran here with you from Roseburg High School. Xavier Aviles, Colin Warmoth, D'Angelo Adams, Jet Black, and Merhowie Lake on the floor for Roseburg to start the fourth. And Jet will launch a three from the corner, and it's no good. Sheldon down with the basketball, driving in, pass back out. Aiden Wagers, a travel call. Wagers will give it back to Roseburg. Roseburg's led by 6. Sheldon led in the second quarter by 9. Back and forth affair we have here. 7:22 and counting as Roseburg has the basketball. Leading scorer for Roseburg, 16. On the other side with 13, it's Bryce Seghetti. On the floor for Sheldon, defensively right now, Dominic McGarvey, Aiden Wagers, Jackson Tucker. As a drive in, the shot by Lake no good, but off of McGarvey's leg and out of bounds. It'll stay with Roseburg. So you've got Wagers, you've got Cameron Owen, Jacob Frey, McGarvey, and Jackson Tucker out there on the floor for Sheldon. Inbound goes to Aviles on the far side. He'll dribble to the top, gets it to Lake. Lake dribbles it back out. Roseburg leading by 2. They got to be patient here in this second half. Couple of head fakes, a three out by Adams. Ooh, looked almost on target, but just off for D'Angelo. Rebound down to the Irish. They move up the floor quickly. Got a chance to take the lead or tie, and a foul called on D'Angelo Adams, who's disappointed with the whistle, thought he got all ball. He sends Cameron Owen to the free throw line. Owen looking for his first points tonight. D'Angelo Adams with his first foul, or excuse me, his second foul. First one goes through for Cameron Owen. Back to a 1-point game. Patrick Herbert will come in for Aiden Wagers. D'Angelo Adams comes out. Caden Seeley back in for Roseburg. And Carson Ellis will come into the game for the Indians. Xavier Aviles will take a seat. Roseburg will have their starting 5 on the floor. Sheldon has pretty close to their starting 5. As Cameron Owen will hit the second. He ties the game up, 35-all, 6.5 to play, fourth quarter. Roseburg trying to hold on here at home. To the near side, Lake with it. Everybody, it feels like on pins and needles here at Stuart W. Robertson. In the corner, Lake with it, goes underneath to Ellis, working against Herbert. He's got to get it back out as he had lost his dribble. Warmoth will get it out at the top. 6:12 to play. He'll call for Jet to drive in. Jet sets a screen for Seeley. Back to the top to Warmoth. To the far side, the give and go with Warmoth, and a foul called. Collins not going to get the shot, but it goes to 1-and-1s as Roseburg's into the bonus. 17th foul against the Irish. They call the foul against Frey, who got called for reaching in on the entry pass underneath to Warmoth. And Collins heads to the free throw line. First one goes. Warmoth will get a second. Roseburg basketball here on The Score and online at 541radio.com. It's brought to you by Fisher's Hearth and Home, serving Douglas County for over 30 years with the largest selection of wood, gas, pellet, and electric stoves and fireplaces in the area. Second one rattles around but falls through. Collin will put Roseburg back in front by 2, 37-35. Up the floor, near side, a three by Frey. Rims out. Ellis down with the rebound. 0 for 2 from behind the arc for Frey. Up the floor to Warmoth on the far side. He can be patient. Roseburg doesn't need to force the issue. Look for the open shot. Black will come to get it to Warmoth on the near side. The give and go not there. Collin got bumped. A fadeaway jumper on the baseline. Difficulty level was maximum on that one. Collin buries it. And Roseburg's out to a 4-point lead again, 39-35. They enter it down to Herbert, working against Seeley. Backs his way in, turnaround shot. He draws the foul and the bucket. Herbert just using his size, strength to get right to the rim, and then he just had an easy turnaround bank shot. They call the foul on Seeley, who picks up his third. He did everything he could to try and stay in front of Patrick Herbert, but Seeley gives up at least a few inches. Herbert's free throw shot rolls over the front of the iron, good. Herbert now with 8 points in the ball game, gets Sheldon back within 1, 39-38, 5:17 to play in the ball game. Lake comes to get it. Ellis at the top with it now. To the far side. Collin gets it, attacks the rim. He gets bumped by by McGarvey. And McGarvey, I believe, I only have it down for his first, but I feel like I might have missed one in there. Blocking foul will send it to 18 fouls, and it is his first. McGarvey picking up his first foul underneath. Not too bad for the big man there. Strong rim defender, but he hasn't picked up a foul yet. Warmouth, meanwhile, at the free throw line, continues to add to his total there. And a timeout down on the floor by Sheldon. Let's take it as well. The Irish will take a 30-second break. We'll come back with more Roseburg basketball here on 541radio.com and on 1490 The Score. Second free throw coming for Colin Warmouth as we come back out of the Sheldon timeout. 40-38, Roseburg in front. Tonight's game brought to you by Flyaway Travel. Give them a call at 672-5701. Warmouth hits them both, gets Roseburg back out to a three-point lead. On the right side with the basketball, Prickle enters underneath. Herbert gets the lay-in from the right side. Back to a one-point game. Sheldon going to their big men here, trying to take advantage of their height late in this game against Roseburg. But the Indians lead by one. 4:45 to play. Seeley has it out at the top, marked by McGarvey. It's just such a mismatch. On the far side, they go to Seeley underneath, high off the glass, and Caden will get it to go. He's got 5 in the ball game and gets a big bucket there. Up the floor with it, Tucker running the point to the free throw line, passes out around the perimeter. Owen with it, crossover dribble against Warmouth, back it out. Tucker back to Owen on the far side, looking underneath for Herbert. It's just not there. They go to the top to Prickle, back to Owen. They try to get it back in the middle to Herbert. Pass got knocked up, but Herbert tips it out to a teammate. They reset. Tucker drives in against Lake. Pass back out. The three off the mark. Warmouth with the rebound in the middle. The three off the mark by Prickle, and Roseburg will take their time bringing it up the floor. No rush to get up there as Sheldon was back quickly on defense. 3:56 to play. Ellis with it at the top. Roseburg got to play calm and confident here. It's a moment that they haven't had too many in conference play as of late. Warmouth with it out at the top. Roseburg leads 43-40. 3:41 to play in the ball game. Collin goes left side. 3 defenders on him. He passes it away. Back out to the top, and Roseburg can reset. Pass to the corner goes out of bounds. Carson wanted to pass it to Jet in the corner, and he did right as Jet Black was cutting to the hoop. And Roseburg, holding on to a 3-point lead, will call a timeout. It's a 60-second break. Let's go ahead and take 30 seconds of it. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout on 1490 The Score.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
Fourth quarter action for you here from Stuart W. Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. It's been an exciting one. Let's go ahead and pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Roseburg basketball on 1490 The Score. Sheldon will have the basketball out of the Roseburg timeout. Roseburg leads 43-40 against the Irish, trying to pick up a win to start out conference play. In the corner, they enter it into Herbert. Back out to the top. Tucker going to drive to the free throw line. Pass it away to Prickle. Back to McGarvey, driving left side. The big man finishes left side of the rim. McGarvey with 11 in the ballgame gets Sheldon back within 1. 3 minutes to go in this one. Double team out at the top against Warmouth. Driving right side. He had 2 men on him. He gets the bucket and the foul. Patrick Herbert came to help, and he gets in there, bodies up on Warmoth. They call it on Herbert, his third. They make it his fourth in the ball game. One away from fouling out in this one. The bucket by Warmoth makes it a 3-point game, and his free throw makes it a 4-point game. Roseburg's led by as many as 6. Sheldon's lead was 9 in the second quarter. 2:56 to play. Roseburg starting to sense the possibility of a win. A three from the top by Tucker off the mark, and Ellis comes down with a strong rebound. Some contact in the backcourt. On the ground is Herbert. It was Seeley that got tied up with him. Herbert will get back, so does Seeley. Roseburg slows it down. You've got Warmoth with the basketball. And an offensive foul on the screen set by Ellis. Carson will pick up his third. Roseburg with 16 fouls now. Sheldon not into the bonus just yet. Roseburg almost to the double bonus. Sheldon will have the basketball, down by 4. 2:30 exactly to play. In the corner, Tucker. He's had a cold night. He is 0 for 8 from the floor. They get it in the middle to Herbert, a bucket and a foul. Patrick Herbert, turnaround jumper in the middle of the lane, gets it to go. He can make it a 1-point game with the traditional 3-point play. Fourth foul going against Caden Seeley, who's been trying to be the defender against Patrick Herbert tonight, and it's just not an easy spot to be. Herbert's free throw rims out, and McGarvey kicks it as he was fighting it away from Carson Ellis, and McGarvey's the last one to touch it as it goes across the baseline. Roseburg will get it back, leading by 2 with 2:20 to play. Ellis, give him credit for boxing out, fighting for that rebound. McGarvey has all the size against him, got his hands in there, but as they battled for it on the floor, McGarvey last to touch it. Lake brings it to the top as Roseburg runs through their offense. On the far side, Jet driving in, had the shot blocked. It goes out off of Sheldon. It'll stay with the Indians. 2:04 to play. Bodies were hitting the floor as Jet drove in, but I'm not sure if it was McGarvey or Herbert that got the hand on it, but they both were right there, and it was Herbert that got the block, and boy, he got all ball, sending it out of bounds. Seeley picks up his dribble. He's got McGarvey all over him, and a slap. You could hear it from here. No, it's a foul away from the basketball. I could have swore I heard somebody get the arm slapped on that handoff. They call the foul on the other side, though, and we're going to walk the other way. The offensive foul against Roseburg, second against Jet Black. Sends us to, no, it's the offensive foul, so it's not 1-and-1s yet. But Sheldon is now into the bonus. Far side of the floor. With it, Griffin line. Around a screen, pass it away. Tucker on the near side. Double team comes, he picks up his dribble. He'll get it away. 1:41 to play, he gets it right back. Bucket in the foul. We got a tie ball game into the line. Jackson Tucker, his first points of the night, and he's got an opportunity to give Sheldon the lead. I'll wait to see who the foul was called against. It's on Caden Seeley, who picks up his fifth. So Caden Seeley's going to have to come out of the game. Tough one there. He's done a nice job trying to body up the bigs down low for Roseburg. They're going to have to turn to, I believe, D'Angelo Adams or Xavier Avilés, and it'll be Adams that comes in first. Avilés will check in. Caden Seeley comes out of the game. Seeley will check out. He's got 5 big points in this ball game, and he's done a heck of a job on the defensive end against the big men from Sheldon. At the line, Jackson Tucker. It's been a tough night for the left-handed shooter. His free throw, good, and he gives Sheldon the lead. 47-46, the Irish back in front, 1:35 to play. Warmoth brings it up the floor quickly. Roseburg can still take their time, look for the good shot. Adams will pass it away, gets it to Ellis. Ellis on the right side has his dribble. He wants to get it to Warmoth, but finally gets it to him. Collin gets free underneath. The bucket doesn't go, but he does get the foul. That one hung on the rim what felt like ages before the spin just makes it fall right off. But Warmoth back to the free throw line. He's been there a lot here in the second half. Collin up to 25 points here tonight. He's reached his average for the season. His first free throw does go through. Ties the ball game up. It got a chance to put Roseburg back in front with 1:16 to play. Tonight's game brought to you by our friends at Pepsi and Bigfoot Beverages. Second free throw is good. Warmouth gives Roseburg the lead again, 48-47, 1:13 to play. Good one tonight here to start Southwest Conference play. Herbert out at the top with it, right side to line. They go underneath to McGarvey, back out to line. He's going to try to attack. He had a couple of hands on him. No whistle, but he does finish at the rim. And the 2-point basket will give Sheldon a lead with 59.5 seconds to play in this ball game. Sheldon takes the break. We'll take a quick 30-second and reset for you after this here on 1490 The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Colin Warmouth with 26 points tonight. Make it 27 tonight for Colin Warmouth, leading the way for Roseburg. Other than that, not a lot of scoring for anybody else. On the other side, 3 players in double figures for the Sheldon Irish. Tonight's game brought to you by DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone's welcome to shop. Roseburg basketball, 59.5 seconds to go in this one. They trail 49-48. We'll see what the strategy is here. Do they try to hold for the last shot? Sheldon will probably try to make sure that they don't. And a foul is going to be called against Herbert. And Patrick Herbert's going to foul out of the ballgame. They brought in Zach Martin. And Martin, I think, got pushed around by Herbert, who's trying to plead his case. But Patrick, the younger brother of Oregon football quarterback Justin Herbert. Patrick Herbert will soon be an Oregon Duck football player as well, but he's finishing out his senior year. He fouls out in this game with 48.5 seconds to go, and Zach Martin goes to the free throw line. The sophomore shooting free throws in a huge moment, hits the first to tie this one up, and he's got a chance to give him the lead. Martin came in, had not shot free throws this season. He's been a swing player from the JV, but he's been getting more minutes with the depth on the bench shortened. Second free throw is good. You can't ask for bigger shots from the sophomore in that clutch moment. He gives Roseburg a 50-49 lead with 48.4 seconds to go. And Zach Martin will take a seat as Roseburg will bring out the defensive effort. D'Angelo Adams back in. Jackson Tucker brings it up the floor. He attacks Marhowie Lake. Back out. Prickle drives in. Stops in the lane. Out to the line. Right side. His floater in the lane. Off the rim. No good. Rebound down by Jet. Roseburg with the basketball. And a foul in the backcourt. And we'll head the other direction. And I believe it's Colin Warmouth heading to the free throw line. The Indians sensing a win within their grasp. Carson Ellis trying to get the fans fired up here in the final 30 seconds. Colin Warmouth will head to the free throw line, looking to add to his 27 tonight. First one is good. Big free throws here. Another one stretches it to a 3-point game, meaning Sheldon could only tie unless Roseburg fouls. Second free throw for Warmouth looks short. It rims out. 2-point game with 28 seconds to go. Sheldon with the basketball. Tucker brings it up. No timeout by Sheldon. Both teams with 2 left. Colin steals it away. Up the floor. Griffin line in front of him. The foul called. The crowd gets loud. I thought maybe the ball had gone through, but no, it's just the crowd getting excited as Colin heads back to the free throw line after the steal and the breakaway. Griffin Line called for the foul, and a timeout going to be called by Sheldon. For Line, it was his second. We'll keep it right here with 18.1 to go in the ball game. Roseburg leads 51-49. Colin Warmouth headed to the line for 2 shots. Folks, I would be lying to you if I told you I expected this kind of a ball game here tonight for the Roseburg boys. But I will say this, give credit to Roseburg. They've had a season that kind of went off the rails a little bit, and it almost looked like the loss against North Medford on Tuesday this week could be a moment where the season just kind of takes its turn. Roseburg had been doing everything they could to try and keep things together, try and figure out their new responsibilities, their new roles, their new rotations with the losses of Jonathan Stone due to injury, Storm Scott out with a suspension. They've been shorthanded, but Roseburg has come out and they have put a valiant effort out against Sheldon here tonight. And I think this is a big statement to the rest of the Southwest Conference. We might have heard that our team not at full strength. You may think we're not the team that beat in the Southwest Conference. Well, we're going to give it everything we've got and see if we can make something happen here in 2019. And if they can get a win here against Sheldon tonight, it's a heck of a statement and a great way to start Southwest Conference play. Colin Warmoth at the line. He'll have 2 shots coming up. First one's good. Makes it a 3-point game. He can make it a 2-possession game with the second. And he's got it. Colin Warmoth makes it 53-49. Roseburg in front by 4. 16 seconds to go. Quick play for Sheldon here. Driving right side. Throwing up a shot. Seghetti can't get a whistle. And Roseburg's down with the defensive board. And now a whistle on the backcourt by Sheldon as they foul to stop the clock with 8.9 seconds to go. A lot of contact. They've been letting some go, it seems at times. I can understand some frustration on the Sheldon side of things there. But it looked like a big attempt by Seghetti trying to make sure that it looked like he definitely got contact. And the ref's not looking for it tonight. Carson Ellis will go to the free throw line. He forces the first one up to the rim and through. Carson Ellis makes it a 5-point game, and Roseburg, with 8.9 seconds to go, just mere moments away from a win. Second one is long. Lane violation called against Carson Ellis. Enters before the basketball hit the rim. So Ellis, unable to get both of them, gets one, makes it a 5-point game. 8.2 seconds to play in this one. I think they might be wondering if the clock started on the free throw miss. So they may look to reset and maybe add fractions of a second on the clock. There was 8 seconds left, but I think it was at 8.9. I think so. They might put 0.7 of a second back up on the clock. Yes, there they go. Both teams are getting a timeout out of this. So Sheldon with 8.9 seconds to go, down by 5. What kind of play can head coach Daniel Clark dry up for his Irish? Roseburg trying to get back in the win column after losing against North on Tuesday. And a win for Roseburg ties their win total from all of last year. And a win tonight for Roseburg gets them halfway to their win total in Southwest Conference play from last year. They only won 2 games in conference. 8.9 to go. Roseburg, no pressure in the backcourt. Griffin Line will inbound. Jackson Tucker there. Merhowy Lake does apply a little bit of pressure to make sure they inbound it quickly. Tucker gives it away. A 3 is good. It's Dawson Prickle on the 3. His first points of the night. They put a lot of trust in him to drain that 3, and he gets it to go through. There's 2.4 seconds left on the clock, and it's a 2-point game, 54-52. Roseburg in front. Roseburg's in the double bonus. Sheldon not in the double bonus yet, just in the single bonus. You got to expect the Irish look for the steal and then go for the foul. So Roseburg has to make sure they are solid with the inbound pass. Roseburg has 1 timeout left to go. Sheldon with none. We'll correct that here on the scoreboard for those that are watching online at 541radio.com. 1 timeout left for Roseburg. So if they can't get it in, you obviously do not want to turn the ball over by not getting the ball in time. They can still call a timeout if they cannot enter the ball from the baseline. So got to keep that in the back of your mind. If you get close to that 5-second count on the inbound pass, you got to make sure you call time. Roseburg will be inbounding from the far side of the floor. 2.4 seconds to go. 2-point game. Full court pressure by Sheldon. McGarvey marking the inbounder. That's Jet Black. Jet, and they call a foul before the inbound pass even. So they will call the foul on Griffin Line, his fourth. Excuse me, no, they call it on Jackson Tucker, his third. And Colin Warmoth is going to go to the free throw line. Roseburg's best free throw shooter. And since there was no inbound pass, officially they're going to reset the clock. And I kept saying it before the inbound, but I think it was 2.4 or 2.9 in that vicinity. I think it was 2.4. So they're working on the clock here again. They're going to put 2.3 up there. The officials trying to figure out, I think, exactly what it was. Yeah, they are going to correct it to 2.4. Colin Warmoth is at the free throw line after the foul by Jackson Tucker. Colin will get an automatic 2 here with Roseburg in the double bonus. All of Roseburg's players back behind the midcourt stripe. Colin hits the first. D'Angelo Adams will come back in for Zach Martin, who had checked in the game. 3-point game. Warmoth trying to make it a 4-point game, which would likely pretty much seal the win. He does. Sheldon will inbound. Tucker will have it across midcourt. Pass up the line. A 3 from Prickle. No good. Roseburg wins.
Final score, Roseburg 56, Sheldon 52.
Roseburg defends its home court tonight to win 56-52. After falling behind by 9 in the second quarter, Roseburg comes out with a huge second half and pulls off the victory. 56-52, your final score. Roseburg goes to 1-0 in Southwest Conference play. Sheldon will drop to 0-1. Big win tonight for the Roseburg boys. We'll talk all about it when we come back with your Roseburg Disposal postgame show. After this on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
Sports fans, thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage. Stay tuned for more for basketball at 541radio.com.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
We welcome you back for the more well drilling halftime show. Roseburg wins tonight. Final score 56-52. The Tribe picks up a win to start out Southwest Conference play against the Irish. Big matchup tonight in Roseburg's. Their defense, it's been one of the highlights of the season for them. And tonight they hold the Irish to 52 points, holding them well below their season average of about 58 on the year. For Roseburg, they fall a little bit shy of their season average. But heck, you'll take a win to start out the season any way you can get it. First half of this one, Roseburg looked like they could be in trouble. They go scoreless for much of the second quarter, but finally go on a run and get their way back to a 3-point deficit. But at one point, Sheldon had pulled out to a 9-point lead in the second quarter, and Roseburg had to fight their way back. They trailed 23-20 at halftime. Roseburg fights back, outscoring Sheldon 15-8 in the third quarter to take a 35-31 lead. Their largest lead at the time was 6 points in that third quarter, and that's pretty much where they keep it throughout the second half. Their largest lead at 6, and the Roseburg Indians able to hold off the Sheldon Irish down the stretch. 32 points tonight for Colin Warmoth as he goes and scores a lot from the free throw line here tonight. He had 21 free throw attempts tonight, hit 18 of them. Finishes with 32 points after scoring 16 in the fourth quarter. We're going to try and get him to come up and join us on the postgame show here, and he will make his way over here. Colin Warmoth, go ahead and throw that on there, bud. You hear me there? Yep. Okay, there we go. We'll turn up your mic. Colin, congratulations, man.
Thank you. Feels good.
I bet that feels good, huh? Yeah. Do you remember the last time you beat Sheldon? Have you beaten Sheldon?
Sixth grade, maybe.
Yeah. So big night for the Roseburg boys. Second quarter, you guys started out real cold and get down by 9. You finished out strong, but what were some of the thoughts on the bench and the huddle out there on the floor? You guys do a nice job of not pressing too hard to try and make things happen and fight your way back in, but it was a struggle to start out the second quarter.
Yeah, shots weren't falling, but we found other ways to score. All week at practice, we focused on keeping under control, waiting, getting our good shots. And we did that pretty well tonight.
Tonight, you guys obviously had a huge height disadvantage with the loss of Storm and Jonathan on the bench. You guys, you're much smaller than you used to be. Tonight, you face a team that's just got height all up and down the lineup, but Caden Seeley does an amazing job. You, with your size out there, doing a nice job. What was the biggest thing for you guys to try and battle the size they had on the other side?
Lots of help, getting to help quick, not letting them get in position was a big one. And they did a good job of that, man.
What about Caden Seeley? Working against big old Patrick Herbert down there, a guy I know you've probably squared off with plenty over the years when you face the Sheldon team. I mean, he ends up fouling out, but I thought Caden did a great job defensively tonight for you guys.
Oh, yeah, Caden did fantastic. And, I mean, Patrick's got height on him, but Caden's a big dude. He's pretty thick. Uses his size well. So.
You guys did a good job pushing around and making sure your presence was known down in the blocks. Free throws tonight come in big for you, 18-21 from the line here tonight. You finished with 16 in the fourth quarter to get to 32 unofficially. I appear to be missing 3 points in there somewhere for someone, but big night for you here tonight. Second half, what'd you start trying to do to try and attack the offense side a little bit more?
Really just keep running our offense, waiting for the good shots and taking advantage of them when we get them.
I know Coach in the pregame was telling us you guys needed to make sure you didn't turn the ball over, and he kept talking about being patient with the offense. We kind of saw things not work out against North Medford on Tuesday. He said it was because you guys were being impatient. Do you feel like tonight you guys were being a little bit more patient with the offense?
Oh, yeah, a lot more patient, and it got us good looks.
Yeah, really felt like that was the case here tonight. You guys ran sets that took a long time, but you worked to get your shot. Big win here tonight. What do you feel like this does as making a statement for the start of conference play? You guys obviously went through some turmoil here during the holiday break. Now as you guys get into conference play, what kind of statement is this for Roseburg basketball?
I think it shows that we're still a good team. We can still beat people, and we need to keep doing it throughout the league season.
Congratulations, man. Tonight, 32 points for Colin Warmoth. He is up here with us in the postgame. This band is crazy. These guys love to party in the postgame. Tonight, you guys gave them a reason to party here at Stuart W. Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. Colin Warmoth, congratulations on the win. Thanks so much for the time.
Thank you.
All right, Colin Warmoth joining us in the Roseburg Disposal postgame show. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with more and get you some numbers from this one here tonight. Final 56-52, Roseburg with the victory. Take a 2-minute break and back with more of the postgame show after this on 1490 The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
He's on his way. He's right here.
Back here at Roseburg High School for more of the Roseburg Disposal postgame show. The Roseburg Indians win tonight. I kept saying 59. I wrote down 59-52. It was 56-52. And that's why I was saying I was off by 3 points. 56-52, Roseburg wins tonight. Joey Keyran here with you this evening. This is the Roseburg Disposal postgame show. Let them make the run to the dump for you. Roseburg Disposal, give them a call at 673-7122. Tonight's game's also been brought to you by Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair. Are you ready to go where life takes you? And by Bimart. Score big at Bimart where you can get ready for your season for less. I had to run down. I was trying to check scores, and all the scores ended up being even, and we all seem to be in agreement, but yet I had the score wrong. So that's part of the problem there. If I had just looked at my screen, I would have realized that that was the problem, that I was reporting the wrong score to you folks. 56-52. Roseburg pulls off a big win here at home tonight against the Sheldon Irish, and that will be a nice way to start out Southwest Conference play. We'll see if Roseburg is able to keep up the momentum. Coming up next, not going to get any easier, South Eugene coming here to Roseburg High School. South Eugene has been looking like it could be one of the top teams in the conference here tonight. So Roseburg gets the win. We're going to take one more break, make sure I got everything all ready to go, and then we'll come back with our individual scoring and recap of tonight's game. We'll also name our Abby's Legendary Pizza Legendary Player of the Game. Back after this quick 2-minute break to wrap up the Roseburg Disposal postgame show on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Fun one here tonight from Roseburg High School as the boys win 56-52, your final score. I was misreporting that earlier. Apologies on that. 56-52, Roseburg wins by 4 against the Sheldon Irish. Back and forth game. Very entertaining. Both sides. Oh, boy, they had a lot going for them here tonight. And, man, back and forth we go. But Roseburg able to hold on down the stretch to hang on for the victory. Taking a look at it here tonight, let's go ahead and recap this one for you. For the Sheldon Irish, 52 points tonight. Leading the way with 13 was Bryce Seghetti. He scores almost all of those in the first half. Had 11 by at halftime. Scores 2 in the third quarter, but goes scoreless in the fourth. 12 points for Patrick Herbert, who scores 7 in the fourth quarter, trying to keep his team in it before he fouls out of the game. 11 points for Dominic McGarvey tonight. He scored 7 in the first half. All 7 of those in the first quarter. Behind the 7 points from McGarvey, the 11 points for McGarvey, you had 3 points for Dawson Prickle, 2 for Cameron Owen, 4 points for Griffin Line, 2 for Aiden Wagers, 2 for Jacob Frey, and 3 for Jackson Tucker. Looking at some of the other numbers for Sheldon here tonight. The Irish finished with 14 turnovers total. Leading the way on the boards, Dominic McGarvey with 6, Patrick Herbert with 5, Griffin Line with 4, so was Bryce Seghetti, who had 4 in this one. Jackson Tucker had 2, and Ben Gittins had 1 rebound in the game tonight for Roseburg. On the other side, for Sheldon. On the other side for Roseburg, leading scorer tonight, 32 for Colin Warmouth. And you know what? That brings him down to 14 points needed to tie the career record at Roseburg High School for points scored in a career. He was 46 points away. Likely Colin Warmouth against South Eugene on Tuesday next week will break the school record for most points scored in a career. He finishes with 32 tonight, just 6 points off of his career high. Big night for him, going 18-21 from the free throw line. Colin also finished with 3 rebounds tonight. Elsewhere for Roseburg, double digits for Carson Ellis with 10 points this evening. Let's see here. 5 points for Caden Seeley. 3 points for Jet Black. 4 points for Merhowie Lake, and 2 points for Zach Martin, who came off the bench. The sophomore hitting 2 huge free throws in the fourth quarter to help keep Roseburg in front of Sheldon. Rebounding number 7 rebounds tonight for Carson Ellis, 5 for Caden Seeley. Colin Warmouth with 3, Jet Black with 5, Merhowie Lake with 3, D'Angelo Adams with 1, Xavier Aviles with 1 as well. And the final turnover total for Roseburg, 13, right about where Coach Mike Parton said his team needed to be tonight to be able to pick up a win against Sheldon. So big night tonight for the Roseburg boys. They improved to 11-4 on the year, tying their win total from all of last year. They're 1-0 in conference play, 1 win away from tying their conference win total from a year ago. Tonight's game has been brought to you by Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County, and by DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone's welcome to shop. So Roseburg wins 56-52. Big win here tonight. In the postgame show, it's time now to announce our Abby's Legendary Pizza Legendary Player of the Game. A lot of candidates, obviously 32 points for Colin Warmouth, but with the height disadvantage that Roseburg had here tonight, Colin obviously had a big game for Roseburg with the scoring. They needed that. But you could not win this game tonight without the performance that I want to say both Caden Seeley and Carson Ellis did, but Caden Seeley, he had his hands full all night long against Patrick Herbert and did an amazing job. It was a team win, but we got to pick somebody, and I'm going to pick Caden Seeley tonight. 5 big points for Roseburg. That's right around his scoring average, so he hits his number there. 5 rebounds, one of the team highs in that total. Caden Seeley, his defensive effort against Patrick Herbert, who had 21 points against Grants Pass in Sheldon's win earlier this week. 21 points, 11 rebounds for Herbert. He comes in tonight, finishes with just 12, and he didn't have that until the fourth quarter where he scored 7 points tonight against the Indians. So nice job for Caden Seeley helping Roseburg get the win here tonight. He is your Abby's Legendary Pizza Legendary Player of the Game. Well, folks, an exciting one tonight. I hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. Try and take a look at some other scores from around the region going on. Get you updated on what's been going on in the world of sports. We'll start out with some boys basketball tonight. South Umpqua Falls against Brookings Harbor. This is boys basketball, right? The boys basketball scores Brookings Harbor beating the South Umpqua boys 82-45. The Sutherland boys win big, 86-38 against Douglas tonight. Only scores we've got to report so far in the Umpqua Basin. From the Southwest Conference, of course, Roseburg winning 56-52 against Sheldon. South Eugene defeats South Medford 55-42. And the other matchup going on tonight was North Medford at Grants Pass, but no score to report from that one as of yet. But Roseburg going to be at the top of the conference standings along with South Eugene after win here this evening. The Roseburg JV team lost 55-46 against Sheldon before our varsity game tonight. On the girls' side, some finals here. Days Creek defeats New Hope Christian 44-27. North Douglas defeats Riddle 48-17 in girls basketball. Yoncalla Yoncalla Falls 37-36 against Pacific tonight. And another Douglas County score here, 53-33, Myrtle Point defeats Reedsport tonight. In Southwest Conference play, Grants Pass beats North Medford 31-26 in girls basketball. South Medford won 77-45 against South Eugene. Roseburg was facing Sheldon tonight up in Eugene. Do not have a score to report on that one as of yet. In the NBA tonight at halftime, Portland leads New Orleans 74-58. A nice regular season lead at halftime there for the Portland Trailblazers. They'll see if they can hang on against the Pelicans in the second half coming up. In high school wrestling today, the Roseburg Indians go 3-0 in duels out at the Oregon Classic Wrestling Tournament in Redmond today. They defeat Sandy 75-6, defeat Bend 70-9, and defeat Oregon City 59-9. They'll be wrestling in the quarterfinals tomorrow starting at 1:50. In some college hoops on the women's side, Oregon wins against Arizona State. The number 5 Ducks defeat the number 19 Sun Devils 77-71. And the number 10 Oregon State women, a final over Arizona 86-64. So that's some scores there. Also had UCC wrestling going on tonight out at the Winchester campus out there as the UCC men were taking on North Idaho and Southwestern Oregon Community College. We'll check out a final on that one a little later on tonight. There we go, folks. Wrapping up the Roseburg Disposal postgame show. Let them make the run to the dump for you. Give them a call at 673-7122 for Roseburg. Next up, they're hosting South Eugene on Tuesday next week for another Southwest Conference game. For Sheldon, their next game, it's going to be at home against North Medford coming up Tuesday next week. As we wrap things up here from Roseburg High School, want to say thank you to the Sheldon Irish helping us get ready for tonight's broadcast with pronunciations and tonight's starting lineup. Want to say thanks to Athletic Director Russ Boland, Head Coach Mike Parton, and the entire Roseburg boys basketball program for allowing us to bring you another season of Roseburg basketball here on 1490 The Score and streaming online at 541radio.com. Big thanks to Josh Nelson, Heather Nelson for providing some help with the video production and scores here at the gymnasium tonight. And as always, a thanks to Brenton Cranford back in the studio for the radio production tonight on that side of things. And folks, like to always say thanks to you, the fan, for tuning in for tonight's broadcast because, of course, without you, I'm just sitting here talking to myself. I'm Joey Keyran. We will talk to you guys on Tuesday next week when the Roseburg boys welcome in the South Eugene Avs Jacks for another Southwest Conference showdown. The game will tip off at 6:45. Pregame coverage starts at 6:30, and you can catch it streaming live online at 541radio.com or right here on Douglas County's home for sports, CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score. All right, thank you very much, Brenton. Have a good night.